散らばるオーブ視覚に届かぬもの実体のない観測者全地を満たす繰り返すペンデュラムわずか少しの不純動機生命の木の果実は土に落ちた魔法のように不自然で狂気じみたこの儀式が自分を描く筆先で構えるのなら世界ごと否定する夢なそれはまるで全てを見透かすように不らちな力で嘲笑い至福に満たされゆく夢な錯乱する描写で誇示するほど全知の力は覆り剥がれ落ちゆく仕組まれた奇跡へと
We're finally getting consistent streams. And you complain. What do you expect from me? I know, but it's still shocking every time. We're playing the game. Back then, I was, and I guess still am, a bit of a klutz. I always forgot where I put things, or think I'd locked something up where I actually forgotten. I caused a lot of trouble. I remember how Aunt Natsuki used to get mad at you all the time. But eventually, Shannon managed to overcome all that forgetfulness. Oh, and how you do that? It wasn't anything big, but I got into the habit of writing things down. Yeah, you got into the habit of writing things down. I write down wherever I put something important. For things that happen often, I made a checklist and always made sure to check it. Ugh. So, did you say Badger saw, didn't you? Oh, I didn't see her directly. But, well, some very strange things did happen. She was talking about a certain summer night. Shannon had been doing the nightly rounds. From her perspective, it was a ghost story. From the witch's perspective, it was just a story of a little summer's night prank. Yes! Yes! We're back to the tale of two Beatrices. Little sister, do you understand the anti-magic toxin that humans possess? No. What is it, One-sama? Well, the time of witches has long since passed. Those vile humans who claim to rule over everything came to deny our existence and possess a powerful toxin. Is that toxin harmful to us? It is extremely dangerous. If we were exposed to it, our forms would probably evaporate in an instant. However, one thing we do have in our favor is the fact that our existence is still extremely weak. Because of that, the toxin does not affect us greatly. At worst, it can only transform us into mist for a time. However, we'd rather avoid it if we can, right? Correct. Yes, I see that you are indeed me. You catch on quickly. The older sister appeared to be haughty at first, but perhaps because she was so happy to have met her double and little sister, she was more than willing to teach her anything she wanted to know. The first thing she taught was that they were witches, a different type of being than humans. Beato also thought her inability to use magic meant she wasn't a witch, but apparently she was still a witch nonetheless. And she learned that witches like her were bound by various limitations unlike humans. The greatest of those restrictions was the anti-magic toxin possessed by humans. So in other words, we mustn't enter a human's field of vision. Correct. You can think of it as though human eyes radiate the toxin. If they see you, it is the same as your body being burnt. And though the effect is weaker, being heard or sensed can also result in contact with the toxin. So even just getting close to humans is dangerous to us. Wasn't Father a human? Why am I not being burnt by Father's toxin? If we stock up magical power and have it acknowledged by humans, that toxin can be reduced drastically. In other words, by having our existence acknowledged by humans, we make them lose their toxin, making it possible for us to appear before them once more. I see. Simply put, as we are now, we can only exist when humans aren't around. We are still very lacking in magical power, which makes us inferior to even a stray cat hiding from humans in the shadows. The main goal of the older sister was to gain a large supply of magical power and be revived as a great witch strong enough to have no fear of the anti-magic toxin. For that purpose, she had wandered around the mansion night after night, striving to regain her magical powers and reduce the anti-magic power of the humans. Sem sent some crap into the food and I'm the empanada's dog right now. I don't... What could possibly... Okay. I know what video you mean, I just... How does that correlate with what could have said... What could have Sem sent? Anyways, don't matter. The powerful previous batteries whom she had read about in Fetherin's Liberty had appeared only openly in front of humans and even toyed with them as at will. I miss Toya a lot. I really like Toya. She's so cool. Anyways, according to her big sister, such a level of power was most impressive. To think that a witch could appear openly before humans and use magic at will. A witch like that would be so great that even I can hardly imagine it. That's how you know that Toya wrote this. Self-glaze. Is that what we will eventually become? Yes. She was like a witch from a picture book, appearing openly before the humans of the mansion and summoning magic and underlings at will. Oh wait, no, I'm so stupid. I thought they're talking about Beatrice, the portrait. I thought they were talking about Feathering. How inspiring. If that is our future, it means that all of our hard work will have been worth the effort. Yeah, they're talking about the Beatrice they read in the book from Fetherin's library. I got a bit confused. That's right. Anyway, Onisama, how is that goal connected to going around unlocking windows like this? It was in the middle of the night. They were following behind servants who were checking the locks of the doors and windows and undoing those locks after the servants thought they had been set. It felt more like a child's prank than the work of a witch. This is the path that leads to becoming a great witch. All journeys begin with a single step. To those who cannot understand, the first step may look quite foolish from time to time. However, it is still a momentous first step. With pride as though making the first step for mankind on the surface of the moon, the older sister undid the lock on the window with a... Do you not understand, little sister? Can you not see why a little thing like this is so momentous? We do? Okay, man, whatever. No, Onisama. I don't really understand. The older sister closed her eyes slightly, smiled, and opened the unlocked window a crack. Cool outside air flowed in, making the curtains flutter. Let us put in the toxin-filled words of a human. We are not supposed to exist on this island. I shall go further. Right now, there is no one in this corridor. And yet, the lock has been undone and the window has been opened. Can you see how great a miracle, a work of magic, a proof of our existence that is? Even you should understand the coolness of this breeze. I do understand. It's nice and cool. The coolness, the softness of the breeze, and the feel of the fluttering curtain touching your hair. All of these things show that we truly are here. So by unlocking the window like this, we can leave behind proof that we really did exist. And that is why I unlocked it. Of course, it wasn't just a small prank like opening a window. She could also smash windows and bosses or leave behind strange fires and mysterious scribbles. In fact, one time she actually did play a large-scale prank in the kitchen, piling up kitchenware in the eerie manner and leaving behind a bizarre scribble which scared the servants considerably. Wait, did you think I mean your voice like... that sound... I meant in-game. Oh, brother. Wait. Delta being so good and then coming back to this made me realize Delta Poop could never compare to just miles ahead to Fox still warming up when he reaches 60 likes at Yukishu, we are doomed. Insane bait. Yeah. It was a complete success. She really managed to scare the servants and had succeeded in making them acknowledge the existence of magic, weakening the anti-magic toxin. However, she usually chose to make her presence known by unlocking windows. The act of unlocking symbolized her release from the limitations imposed by the human's toxin. One day, we will become a single witch and rule over all of Ronkenjima. When that time comes, we will gain complete freedom and will be capable of stretching our wings as we please. We won't have to be afraid of anyone's gazes anymore. We'll be able to fly wherever we wish, disappear whenever we want. Laugh however we like, prank however we like, talk with anyone we want to. Humans might ask things for us from time to time. They might fight with us or play with us too. What wonderful things for us frail creatures, who cannot appear before anyone to look forward to. Right now, they are little more than pranks. However, as they pile up, proof that we exist will begin to gather. The servants already call me the Witch Beatrice, Master of the Night. And are beginning to believe in me bit by bit. The more they believe, the more those humans will lose their anti-magic toxin. I see. So this means that Father has no anti-magic toxin. And that's because he truly believes in the existence of the witch I am, without any doubts. I finally realized that, though I thought him to be cold, Father does possess a kindness that can't be seen. I like to become a great witch and appear in front of everyone soon. Indeed. Eventually, we will be able to appear openly in front of anyone. By doing that repeatedly, we shall make people believe in us even more, and eventually, we shall display even our magic for all to see. At that time, we shall descend upon Ronkenjima as the great witch you told me of. The logic of the witch side is quite interesting. It keeps me entertained. It does sound credible in a way. When humans are frightened to hear that they entered a ghost hotspot, they're likely to start yelling "Ghost! Ghost!" at the drop of a hat. That's right. At the fundamental level, all phenomena are neutral, indifferent, and dual. If you want them be viewed in a certain way, you must first create a suitable environment. If the person has charisma, people will interpret what they do in a positive way, even when they screw up. I see. I guess in that sense, the Beato's small efforts aren't misguided. It was just the mansion's locks being undone. Everything could be resolved by saying that someone forgot to lock up or that it was some kind of prank. However, the rumors of a witch wandering about the mansion night after night slowly began to take shape as the existence of the witch. An environment we established so that if anything strange happened in the mansion at night, it would be viewed as the work of the witch. I get it. If you follow the reasoning to an extreme, then what you get is no different from a witch existed in the mansion at night. After the battles finished after their mischief of unlocking and opening the window, they enjoyed the coolness of the wind and the brightness of the moon, then became gold butterflies and disappeared into the darkness. There was no way of knowing whether the window they had opened had actually been opened by them. The servants might have forgotten to lock up, or one of the family might have opened it after the servants had locked up and forgotten to shut it again. Or maybe someone had played a prank. In the same way that none of those possibilities could be denied, it was also impossible to deny the possibility that the witch really had opened a window to enjoy the night breeze. A result without an observer can possess an endless number of ways in which it might have occurred. Humans who can't grasp anything more than a single possibility are unable to imagine anything. However, people who believe in the possibility of a witch can imagine that it was a witch's prank. When that happens, the scene of the Beatrice's prank that we have just seen is etched into the fragments as a fact. It's one of the foundations of magic. Embellishing the process. With just a little magic, even a mass-produced stuffed animal can be reborn as a wonderful, unique stuffed animal filled with a mother's love. If you doubt it, it'll be burnt by the anti-magic toxin. If you believe it, that magic will become the truth. Not all magic is bad. Maria Onechan was right. Good magic exists too. Oh, this music. It may be necessary for a child of man to possess the power to repel evil magic. Whoa, wait, this music. Wait, no, I think we already heard this one. It's still that good. Okay, Ruby. Also, why was I told to turn the voice acting up? I was keeping an ear out. Like, yeah, the voice acting's nice, but was there something specifically that I missed? Or has it not happened yet? It may be necessary for a child of man to possess the power to repel evil magic. However, refusing to burn away and defile love-filled magic is part of how love in the human world works. Well, good magic's the only kind I can forgive. For other kinds, the best remedy is to deny them and burn them away. A typical answer for a child of man. There is quite literally a single instance when voice acting is important to hear and we are not... Okay, whatever. Cool. Getting back to the point. Knowing this much, I guess this means that the ghost Beatrice who was called the ruler of Ronkajima's nights doesn't really exist. is nothing more than a general term for any inexplicable occurrences that take place in the mansion after dark. In other words, Beatrice isn't the name of a person, it's the name of a phenomenon. If anything bizarre happens, it all becomes the work of the Golden Witch. That environment in which a witch cannot exist is what Beatrice is. That keeps building on itself until we reach 1986. This is the veil that the true culprit is hiding behind. And the person hiding behind it is, without a doubt, a human. And perhaps this holds true at this point in the witch's tale of the past. However, I doubt you can use that argument alone to fight all the way through 1986, don't you? Ridiculous! Wasn't that obviously because someone forgot to look up? Well, you may say that, but this isn't just something that happened once or twice. In other words, you're a klutz, a fool, and a moron of a servant who forgot to check not just once or twice, but many times over! Shannon isn't the only one. That same window was always open even when other servants did the rounds. Yeah, Mom even asked me if I ever left the window open in the hall at night. I had absolutely nothing to do with it, but she still just got pissed. Jeez. I'm sure Beatrice wanted to gaze at the moon. Oh. It is a bit creepy to have that happen over and over at the same window. And that time when the kitchenware was piled up in the kitchen, with a creepy magic circle scribble there, sounds even more freaky. Yes, but they said it was an eerie magic circle drawn with something like blood. Ever since then, people have been scared to patrol the kitchen. But the case of the eerie magic circle in the kitchen, who witnessed that? Well, it wasn't me. I think I heard about it from a servant kid who quit. I wasn't on duty that day. So it's basically like this. Just like those exaggerated stories you hear about haunted locations all over the world, you servants like to have a little fun telling ghost stories about the nighttime mansion, right? You talk as though the witch exists and infected others with that belief. In fact. So all of those eerie things that are supposedly done by Beatrice are baseless rumors, which are either the result of coincidence, an accident, or something that someone fabricated for fun. Is that what you're trying to say? Exactly. Of course, there's no way Beatrice exists. Oh, Beatrice exists. I'm glad you understand so well, Butler. Son, there's probably some person by that name, or else multiple persons of a fixed or unfixed number who do things and attribute it to that name. However, this delusion of a golden witch Beatrice that we're all thinking of is completely impossible. Oh! Beatrice exists! I've met her! Oh, could you tell me more about that in detail? You met Beatrice, and did she show you magic or something? I see her all the time. Every time I come to Ronkenjima, and she always shows me fun magic. Denying the existence of the witch would always have the immediate effect of infuriating Maria. However, Erika, who didn't know this trick to avoiding Maria's fury, plunged into it head-on. But no matter how Maria tried to sell the idea of Beatrice's existence, she stood no chance of defeating the ruthlessly intelligent Erika in an argument. George and Jessica hurriedly tried to calm Maria down, but there could be no quelling her anger at this point. Good though! So she showed you magic? Could you explain in detail what point of magic? She would always use magic to give me candy as a present, but I'm talking pretty candy with magic. Are you sure she didn't just take it out of the pocket? No, she didn't! It was magic! It was incredible! Just some candies poured out of an empty cup! Wow, that's some awesome magic! That's right, that really would be magic. Yeah, it was magic! It really was empty! I checked inside it myself! Aww! What do you mean you checked inside it? Give it a rest, Erika-san. She's just a kid. Think of it, Erika-sama. Would you like some more tea? Yeah. Thank you. I'm having a serious intellectual discussion over here. You outsiders can stay out of this. You'll have to tell me more in detail, Maria-san. What do you mean when you say that you checked inside it? Fortunately, we have right here with us a teacup that's just been overturned and emptied. Come on, be my guest and reenact what happened then, okay? Let's see it if you would, let's see it! After holding the cup of black tea, which she had just overturned and was still dripping upside down over the table, Erika slammed it down hard and slid it over to Maria. Erika's eyes glowed repulsively like those of a snake about to snap up a frog. Those eyes were ice cold and had a madness in them that made one want to avert their gaze. On the other hand, Maria was glaring furiously, her whole body shaking uncontrollably in the greatest expression of anger that a human can manage. The look on her face was frightening, not at all what you expect from a 9-year-old girl. Stop it, both of you! Did they push her? Okay, Beatrice took the empty cup, and then she did this. She put it upside down on the table. Yeah? What? She lifted it up right away and candies flowed out? Incredible! There really would be magic, right? It would be! Butler and the others tried to get between the two and calm them down, but it was no use. They violently pushed aside the others, and glaring at each other from so close that their foreheads banged together, they repeatedly slammed the upside-down cup on the table. I need manga panels of this. The sound of their foreheads banging together and the cup being slapped up down shattered the barrier between reality and illusion. Oh my god, bro. Are we serious?
It is magic! It is magic! Beeto used magic to make candies appear!
Then why did you reproduce it for us? Founder of Mariage Sorcery, Maria, the Witch of Origins! Even she is getting involved, man. Lady Erika, this opponent is not worth your time. This battle is not worth fighting. Shut up, Madata! Okay, how do you claim that the overturned cup was filled with candies?
Just turning the cup over won't make candies come out, because you have to use magic. Beeto can use magic because she's a witch.
Oh yes, magic, she used magic! How did she use magic? Did she swing a magic wand and tap the cup to make the candies pour out? No, that can't be it, right?
Beeto's a witch, and so she uses magic. Magic happens when you say an incantation and cause a miracle. You can't use the
Oh, sure, understood. Good, very good. Let's see this incantation. Let's see the magic. Come on, what kind of incantation would the witch use? What kind?
Come, try and picture it. The inside of the cup is filled with candies. Try and picture such a wonder.
Oh, then what?
Look, the inside of the cup is filled with candy.
Maria grasped the overturned cup so tightly that it nearly cracked, and slowly lifted it up. Then, from the inside, several cute candies poured out. Maria looked at Erika with a full smile as if to say, that showed you. Good duh! And this is what you'd like to call Beatrice's magic, is it? Dana! Beat her to death! As you wish.
I won't let anyone deny Beeto's magic, because magic is magic.
Magic is impossible. You might be telling a lie about something that never happened. Repetition demanded. Failure to respond will be a violation of Noctis 7th.
I'll respond. This is the truth. This is a story of something that really happened.
This wouldn't have anything to do with a trick in the actual couple table, making this just a sleight of hand, right? That would be against the rules, wouldn't it? Hidden devices and tricks are in violation of Nox's third. However, if and only if foreshadowing has been represented, these are permitted by Nox's eighth. Nox's third prohibits hidden doors and devices that have no clues pointing towards them. However, by presenting foreshadowing and clues that point towards the existence of said devices, Nox's eighth allows them to be used.
There were no tricks like that! It was just an ordinary table and an ordinary cup! So it was magic, not sleight of hand!
Understood. By Nox's ninth, we acknowledge that Lady Maria witnessed magic. That's right! With the ninth at least, observers are always allowed to speak their personal opinions. Otherwise, mysteries where the culprit is seen dressed up as a woman and it's written, "I saw a woman," would all be disqualified. Sure, that's fine. Claim that you all saw magic all you want. All truths are nothing more than claims, so I'll make a different claim and see straight through yours to the truth. That's the detective's duty, and where we shine the most!
There's nothing to see through, this is magic.
Since it is magic, only witches can use it, right?
That's right, only witches can use it.
So, if a human like me could use it too, that would mean it isn't magic, right?
You can use it. Only Beeto can use magic.
Good. Then why don't I show you? I'll make the candy appear from out of this empty cup.
If you think you can, just try it. Impossible, useless. There's no way a human can do it.
Then please, just relax and watch. Here, we have an empty cup. Is that okay? It is, isn't it? Then we turn it over on the table like this. Let it be known that this fight has no purpose. Okay, can you say the incantation for creating candies? In fact, why don't we say it together? Come, try and picture it.
The inside of the cup is filled with candy. Try and picture such a wonder.
Stop!
Maria-san, why did you close your eyes when you said that incantation? Why not witness the miracle of magic? Humans are polluted by the anti-magic toxin. If a lowly human saw it, the miracle of magic would be wiped out of existence. That's why the rules say that lowly humans have to close their eyes when using magic.
I see. Okay, I understand the protocol for humans to follow when magic's being used. In other words, not once have you ever witnessed the moments that magic happened. Isn't that right? Look, it's done now. Please try and lift up the cup, okay? After all, I've used magic to make candies appear.
There's no way someone who makes fun of witches could use candy magic.
Then, if it actually does work, it'll be pretty amazing, huh? After glaring at Erika with the utmost of malice, Maria slowly stretched her hand out towards the overturned cup. There was no way that Erika, someone who made fun of witches like this, could ever use magic. There was no way that there'd be candy there. So, how does it look inside? And there lay a single candy with a cute wrapper. See? This is magic, right? Erika smiled gently. A look of disbelieving shock rose to Maria's eyes. along with envy for this person who could use the same magic as Beeto.
Erika, you can use magic too? See? It's magic, isn't it? What I did there. Yeah! So in other words...
Erika smiled pleasantly. She and Maria had finally reached a deep understanding.
Of course it is, sir! When you had your eyes closed, I just lifted the cup up and tossed the candy in. You call that magic? Just a bad-rate trick? There's my blue truth as the detective. Now, as the witch of truth, here's my red truth. Your so-called candy magic is nothing more than a sleight of hand. Just a sleight of hand that the fake witch calling herself Beatrice or whatever claim was magic. I mean, seriously, did you really get fooled by such a stupid parlor trick? Any magic related by your perspective can't be trusted at all. Everything you ever thought was magic was just a trick that you didn't get. There's no way that was magic. There's no way magic exists. Huh? Goat! It might have been sleight of hand when you put candy in his cup, but that doesn't prove that Beato's magic was also sleight of hand. Good you. However, you also can't prove that only magic could have done it. You rotten stuffed animal!
Please allow me to speak. Know that this is a meaningless battle.
You goddamn scraps of fever! Why do you have to butt in at the good part?
That is enough. Lady Maria has been shown that the candy cup magic could possibly be a trick that she misunderstood to be magic. Therefore, her claim that it was magic is dismissed.
However, it might really have been magic when Maria saw it. Just because it can't be done by a sleight of hand doesn't disprove magic.
Well done, Lady Erika. Congratulations on crushing Lady Maria's illusion of the witch. An illusion of the witch occurs when someone tries to force the acknowledgement of magic by claiming that a thing would be impossible without it. It's how witches launch an attack. If someone able to successfully argue back and show that it could be possible without magic, the illusion of the witch is defeated and the witch must retreat. The magic Maria claimed to have seen could have been a trick, so it was disqualified to be acknowledged as magic. However, that was only the result of this battle. It was still too early to bring the fight into the domain of denying Beatrice, the witch, and the magic that Maria believed in. However, battles always end instantly when your opponent surrenders. Erika had wanted to hit Maria with everything at once, defiling the witch and magic she believed in, and crushing it without a fragment of compassion.
Just one more step and I'd have been able to take a heart as innocent as the smooth sand just after a wave has pulled back and tear it to bits.
Who talks like that?
What a shame. This isn't any fun anymore. Are you satisfied now? Ouch! Ow.
Erika grumpily punched Leonard's arm that had been restraining her. However, that cold, hard, marble-like arm just made Erika's hand hurt.
Diplomatic immunity! This battle's over!
Allow me to speak. Diplomatic immunity accepted. Know that this fight is childish.
Did you say something?
No, she did not. Let us withdraw. Lady Maria is no enemy of yours, Lady Erika. There is no need to pay any attention to small fry such as this.
Huh. You're right. How childish of me tearing a kid's dreams apart. I'm really sorry, okay? I apologize for my momentary lacks of elegance. Let's go.
Erika and the others turned their backs on Maria, who was still crouching down limply. However, as the detective and famous mysteries have always done in the past, Erika clapped her hands, stopped and turned around.
Oh, that's right. What do you think? Hmm? Simply by the existence of the overturned cup. This level of reasoning was possible for further Erika. What do you think, everyone?
Erika's merciless words gouged themselves into Maria's heart once more. Erika left, leaving an evil laugh behind her. After bowing to Maria and Sakutaro, Dlanor left too. Gertrude and Cornelia followed suit. After that, only Maria and Sakutaro were left in the lonely Golden Land. That was awesome. It is that serious.
Ryu. Beeto is a witch. Ryu. Beeto is a witch. It was magic. It was magic. It was magic. Beeto used magic to give you candy. You don't need to doubt that. Ryu, please believe in Beeto. You know that magic can't bear fruit unless you believe.
Surrounded by an ice-cold drizzle that had started falling at some point, Maria cried quietly. Trying to at least protect her from the rain, Sakutaro used his large sleeves to cover Maria's head, and stayed there by her side.
Okay, let's go, Maria. Let's play cards together in the room upstairs.
Erika-san, as an adult, I can't say I was very impressed by that conversation just now.
My apologies. I'm still just a kid after all.
After seeing that wonderful candy magic brutally insulted by Erika, Maria had been crying non-stop. I started noticing it as soon as the after-party dinner quiz party. After-party dinner quiz party. But your personality really is screwed up. Do you think this is fun? Do you like tearing little kids' dreams apart?
Please stop, Butler-sama. Please, for my sake, don't push any further here. Please.
Shannon, who had been looking flustered, bowed her head deeply and implored Butler to stop. George, who didn't want Shannon pressed, fell in line. Let's go. Let's spend this year in the cousin room again. We can watch TV and play cards. I've heard that Erika-san has her own room. Shannon, please guide her there.
Oh, no need to bother yet. I'll relax down here for a while longer. I want to savor it a bit.
What the hell are you trying to savor? Butler and the others could no longer hide their irritation. They had no obligation to entertain their uninvited guests any further than this. Erika herself understood perfectly well that no place would welcome a detective. Butler and the others wanted to leave, and Erika wanted to stay. Neither had any desire to stop the other. Jessica urged Maria, who was still crying, to come along. Then Maria stopped and spun around.
Got a problem? They do exist here and there. Humans who are particularly lumps of toxin and don't believe in magic. There were lots of boys like you in my class. They don't believe in witches or magic or miracles or happiness. You can't become a witch if you let the toxin of people like that burn you to ashes. I may not look it, but I'm Bather's disciple. I am the apprentice witch of origins.
Maria, who had been crying quietly a second ago, seemed to have been transformed into an entirely different person. She laughed, no, cackled eerily. Butler's group stiffened up at the sudden change, but Erika was watching calmly. Then she smiled and gave a small nod in response. Good, you got some guts. Good night, Miss Maria. Let's fight in a more challenging game next time.
Sure, let's. It's a promise.
You stop that tangents, Maria. Come on, let's go. What about you, Shannon-chan? Come with us if you want, to play cards. Come on, join us for at least 1 second. For 1 round. It'll cheer you up.
Just for a bit.
Shannon couldn't remain in this suffocating lounge any longer either. In part apologetic and in part trying to escape, she followed after Butler's group. After that, Erika was the only one left in the lounge. Still wearing a thin smile, she tapped the glass with her finger. There was a light chink, a surprisingly boring sound. Even so, Erika wore a thin smile as though pleased.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just in the bath. Oh, where is everyone? You just missed them. They went up to the 2nd floor. I'm the one who called you here. I've heard that you know a lot about the story of Akujikishima and the tale of the Witch of the Forest. Yes, well, it is a trivial story, but I don't mind in the slightest if it's trivial. Would you like to drink to follow your bath? Even I like to be helpful every now and then.
Erika stood up and opened the refrigerator behind the counter and put ice into the ice pail. Water break. Okay. Bruv. Water break right before the chapter end. Of course, has not even been an hour, so another chapter. Salabas! Oh boy, don't you see this scene for the 5th time. Erika-chan, huh? She's an odd kid. Somehow, I just can't seem to get along well with the young kids these days. Chud time.
You're so pretty young yourself, Georgie-san.
I guess it's because I've always been the oldest of the cousins. It's always made me feel like I'm not one of the young ones anymore. Actually, I want to talk about Erika a bit. I just wonder if there will ever be more to her. Like, we don't. I can skip her. No, it's important. Well, no. I know. I just mean like. Okay. Yeah, you're right. George and Shandong could be seen standing in the rainy rose garden. Though the rain was still pouring down, there was hardly any wind at all. This scant protection provided by the arbor was more than enough to house this secret meeting between lovers. Following that fight with Erika, they had decided to play some cards for change of pace. When that was over, Shannon had returned to the servant room, and shortly after that, Georgie had left his room to meet with Shannon at the time they had arranged. Rosa did the same, so you want to find something there. Okay, man.
I think Kitara and Erika-san's each have a hard time getting along with themselves more so than they
Yeah, that's true. Around that time, most kids are so determined to free themselves from this shell of childhood that they lash out in all directions with their beaks. When they do break out, they'll finally be free to stretch their wings and fly high. And I was like that too. My old self still trapped inside that shell as a weak and horrible person who I couldn't really respect. But that's not true. No, it's okay. I realized it myself. Back then, I might have been the oldest of the cousins, but I was still a lazy, hopeless bum. And it wasn't just with the cousins. At home, at school, I was like that everywhere. I hated being like that. I wanted to break that shell and become a splendid adult like mother and father.
But in the end, you did break out of the shell, Georgie-sama. Every time I've met you these past few years, you've grown beyond recognition.
Thank you.
Did something cause you to make up your mind?
To break out of my shell.
Yes. I can't imagine that you grew so rapidly like a butterfly breaking out of its cocoon. By just wandering around aimlessly, I got hiccups. I thought there must have been some turning point that made you become so determined.
I fell in love with you, and grew thanks to the power of love, is what I've told you so far. But the truth is, the turning point was a bunch more negative emotion.
No way.
Much more.
It's hard to believe that someone who's always as bright and cheerful as you could have negative emotions.
I feel like that was a bit of projection there on her part. Because she seems so sweet and has to hide how she's actually a super Jeff the Killer kin. Well, my parents brought me up to treat women with care, and I thought that I managed to live my life that way.
Yes, I think you're wonderful, a real gentleman.
But I'm not actually. I didn't know how to interact with the opposite sex. I deified them excessively, and though I always believed in a gentlemanly ladies first kind of way, I was probably outright afraid of interacting with girls. He's actually an incel! Dude. Of course, George had wanted to be around girls as much as any healthy boy might. However, he didn't know how to interact with them. He wanted to act like a gentleman to avoid being disliked by them, treating them with care. All this to find out that George is Ryukishi's self-insert. Of those feelings, only the words "treat women with care" took precedence, blossoming into a subconscious fear of women. Didn't Ryukishi say that during the Silent Hill interview? You might call a man like that gentlemanly, or a late bloomer. Ridiculous. I was just a coward. Because of that, I started to wonder why I couldn't get a girlfriend if I were so gentlemanly. George would say he fears women, and Ryukishi said, man, me too. Wait, bro, I just swear. Because of that, I started to wonder why I couldn't get a girlfriend if I was so gentlemanly. And I eventually came to the conclusion that all the women in the world had no taste. And so, dude, wait, he's actually a nice guy. He's actually an incel, bro. This is so funny. I didn't think the memes were this accurate. Wait. He's just saying it word by word. That's so funny. That's what a truly pathetic man looks like. He's what's the word? Rehabilitated though, right? How many years ago was it when I noticed? Probably when I was in middle school. At that time, I assumed that I was obviously the most gentlemanly of the cousins, so I would obviously be popular with women. However, reality was very different. At school, I was pretty much completely hopeless. Far from being a leader, I was a typical bullied kid who got pushed around by everyone. At that time, I figured I was just I was just a capable and adaptable man who could keep up in perfect tune with his surroundings. How stupid. Sure, I might have gained some measure of trust from girls. However, not only was there no one who could become my girlfriend. There weren't even any girls I could call friends. And of course, I was a man who always stepped back for the sake of ladies first. Who would ever want to follow behind such a negative, unmotivated man? It's funny, I didn't even realize this, and was convinced that I was an attractive guy.
I can sort of understand how you feel. Just because someone puts in a lot of hard work to look attractive to the opposite sex, it doesn't necessarily work out as they planned. Yeah, Shannon, is that so?
Projectaton 9000 over here. Oh, has that happened to you too, Shannon?
Of course. One time I wanted to catch a boy's eye so much I tried to put on makeup even though I didn't know how and embarrassed myself.
Kill Butler.
I remember a lot of embarrassing failures.
The person that made me finally get over my conceit and open my eyes was you, Shannon. No, it was both of you.
What was the turning point for you, George-san?
Envy, probably.
Wait!
I said that! 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 I said that one thing that could make, I don't know, it's been so long, but one thing that could make George interesting was if, you know, because we learned that Shannon had a crush on Butler when they were young. So it made me wonder back then if George only started liking Shannon afterwards because he noticed that Shannon liked Butler and he got jealous of how effortlessly Butler could catch the attention of women while he was a r/nice guy. Why do they always go after the Chads? Wait, this was in the letter and in the Wonder Silver streams and in Delta and in other games I got it okay. I seriously need you to shut up forever.
That's unexpected. But envy over what?
I wonder if they'll say it straight up. They do. Oh, baby. Baby. Oh, he's blushing. I saw you and Butler-kun having a really good time talking. Okay, thank goodness I said what I said when I did. I would have been so mad if I held that back and saw this. That made me envious.
Me and Butler-sama.
Oh no, Shannon, don't think too much. Don't think too much about this. Shannon raced through her memories, trying to find a conversation that might have made Joji envious. It's probably seemed trivial to you too. However, it still made me envious. I don't want Butler to hear what I say next, no matter what. Can you promise me?
Of course.
It's going to be a shameful confession. Still, I want you to hear it. I want to hear your answer though. Only after I've told you about my bad sides as well.
Okay, let me hear it.
With a smile but a serious look in her eyes, Shannon nodded. It's funny. These scenes are always like, you know, haha, George. But I genuinely always end up loving these scenes so much. I still remember the episode 1, man. That one hit. That one was sweet. And the conclusion with her dying and the finger on her ring, like, that hits. I like the one. The other ones, I can't remember them too well, but I always like the Arbor talks. They're very sweet. Tonight, she knew that he was going to ask her tonight. Georgie had the right to confess before asking that sacred question, and Shannon had the obligation to listen. Shannon understood this, so she listened quietly. I want to know more about you, Angie, but don't interrupt right now, man. I'm invested. So this is what the Witch of Theater going peeps in during her spare time. Stories of love are precious in any age. I never tire of them. However, I do find that expression of virgin disgust on your face even more amusing. Girl, what? Does that mean something else, or is she literally calling her a virgin, man? Featherin laughed quietly. Angie huffed and looked away. But she quickly realized that this would only entertain Featherin even more, so she tried to act unconcerned. Both Butler-kun and Jessica-chan has always been spirited. No, phrasing it that way is just dodging the issue. That phrase has been ruined. Let me be frank. It's you and you don't react to what I say? That's +1, +1, +1, I like that. Georgie looked up at where the moon should be, high above the rain clouds, and spoke. They were honest words, spoken simply from Georgie's heart. Optical illusion. I'm so used to Butler's bright red hair that I can see his hair being red here, even though it's gray. Whoa, monochrome! Okay. For a long time back then, I thought of Butler-kun and Jessica-chan as bad-mannered kids. No, let me be even more blunt. I thought that even the way they talked was vulgar. It's true. I don't mind if you hold me in contempt for that.
I don't. People are allowed to think anything they want inside their hearts. In fact, I think you were all the more commendable for not letting us show on the outside.
On thin ice because I want to make 1 billion jokes with some things I say too much and then I get butchered. I'm so curious what you could have said. Thank you for saving me those Sims. Thanks. I secretly looked down at those two. I was so conceited that I truly thought I was just overflowing with gentlemanly charm compared to them. I was at the age where having a girlfriend felt like a necessary condition for becoming a real man. I truly believed that no girl could fail to admire a gentleman who treated girls as well as I did, so I really did assume that the girls I knew were attracted to me. I thought that Butler-kun and Jessica-chan, who always joked around and spoke in a rude, vulgar fashion, would never be able to get a boyfriend or girlfriend. I might have used that argument to distract myself when I still couldn't get one myself. I was a fool. They weren't inferior to me at all. I was the inferior one, with my deification of the opposite sex in my fear, which I hid under the guise of ladies first. I'm thinking. I mean, it just follows, themes and such. It's nice that we have a r/nice guy. Because it's like, the cousins are all different flavors of failed love, I guess. Butler has the problem of giving out too much love that he can't appreciate it. He just seems love as a toy, right? You just throw it around, whatever, and he fails to realize the impact he has on people. Like, he didn't notice how much Shannon liked him. They have Jessica, who is more of the shy love. Like, you love someone, but you don't really know how to say it, and unrequited love, just being too afraid to show it. And then George over here is the type where you think you deserve love and you don't really need to try for it. It's just going to come to you eventually because you're a good person and it'll find you. It's like not trying for love. Jessica's trying too hard but failing, and Butler is not trying but just giving it out too much, not appreciating it. So it's neat. The problem is that I just don't care. I don't care about George. I don't want to bother reading into him. I don't dislike him. I still don't get the hate for him. He's fine. Like, no, never mind. I won't talk about it right now. But I don't get the hate for him yet. I just because I don't hate him doesn't mean that I care about him. I don't care. I do gaff about George. You mean to say everything is important and I'm not reading that, man. Well, that's been Butler's and Jessica's personality from the beginning. But true, they were rude, and one couldn't have called them gentlemanly or ladylike. However, they did have the power to interact without worrying about gender. In fact, you might even call that their charm. I sort of understand. People like Oni-chan and Jessica Oni-chan can get along with anyone, whether that person's a boy or girl. I hate to bring it up because of George's Oni-chan, but I find people who act too overly like a gentleman a bit creepy. It's like they're virgins trying too hard or whatever. But when dealing with strangers, people prefer for them to be harmless and boring. However, they only appreciate these qualities because such a person doesn't get in the way. No human would want to hang around with a boring person all the time. Of course, nobody would want to be friends with an unmoving, unspeaking telephone pole. However, unmoving and unspeaking is exactly what you want from the telephone pole. Well, that's it. It seems as though George finally discovered that he wouldn't be viewed as an attractive man no matter how superior he was. And that he had been treated like a telephone pole the whole time. I'm back. Why did I say that? I'm back? We went to the feathering part, and I was like, oh, it's ending, okay, I'm back. I'm telling Shannon and George that okay, whatever, I'm losing it right now. Okay. What about the loser's flag scenes then? I don't know, man, that's your problem to figure out for me. I don't know. Let me see. Let me think for 10 seconds. Yeah, I don't know. You're already miles ahead of the average reader and not just hating George without reason, understanding why he's there at least. Good job, horse of man. Yay! I'm glad. That the first message you've ever said in your life that makes me happy. Thank you. Because I think like there's one reason to hate him, which is the age gap. But I just feel... You said that we were going to talk about it later. I still assume that later hasn't come. But I played too many Japanese games. I just don't think that the writer of this game put too much thought into that, perhaps. Anyways, whatever. This scene has the loser's flag motif. Okay. Okay, fine, you can get the funny metal back. He's immersed. I am. I do like the armor scenes a lot. Later, as in when this ends, yep. Back then, my conceit was at its peak. So when everyone gathered at the family conference, I believed that I was the most attractive and that all the servant girls who played with us loved having me there. On that day, I finally realized how pathetic I was.
Did I say something inconsiderable then?
No, it's the opposite. He didn't say anything at all. My conceited delusion that I was the only one ever reflected in your eyes was crushed. Just when did it start? No, it must have started long before then. I only failed to notice because my eyes were clouded with conceit. One day I suddenly realized it. All of you were getting along with Butler-kun and Jessica-chan far better than with me. Playing around and having a good time. And it's just interesting. He's an interesting character, just not a character I want to look into too much. Sadly, like, super duper terrible hot take. I feel the same towards Eva. Insanely interesting character, you know. Million things to read into. I just don't really care too much to do it. I would love to read what people have said about Eva and George later. But you know, there's a lot with George. Because speaking of Eva, a lot of his problems you can attribute to his parents. Rudolph, I mean, look at him, right? Look at him. He's not gonna raise some perfect gentleman boy. That's why Butler is such a playboy as well. And also the fact that Butler was raised by his grandparents, you know, it's more lax. He didn't have the pressure of having to inherit a company or anything like that. Butler could be raised as a boy. Very free. Jessica is funny because she does have very strict parents. Natsuki is very strict, but their strictness goes beyond what how Eva and Hideyoshi were, in my opinion. Like their strictness is more, you're tied to this home. You don't really get to have friends and such. So instead of making Jessica into a robot, into a perfect little lady, what this raising method caused was making her want to rebel, want to break out of her chains. They were too controlling, too strict, that instead of making a robot, they created a rebel. And then you have George, who Hideyoshi, I'm sure he cares very much his company. He's also, he's carefree, but he's also very gentlemanly. He's very company focused. So he would raise George to be very job focused, very future focused, very career focused. That's the word. But then you have Eva, who, with all of her motives and goals of taking over the Ushiroya family and having George in the first place to be a successor to the Ushiroya family, she put an insane amount of pressure on George to be an actual perfect robot with enough love and not extremely controlling like Natsuki for him not to want to rebel. He was given a lot. He was given a golden throne, enough so he can be happy with his life and not want to rebel, but controlled and raised properly enough that he would come out like this, as someone who values being a gentleman a lot and thinks that since he didn't have to work for too much in his life, he thinks that things like love will be given to him if he is just a good person like his mom taught him to be, a perfect little boy. So there's a lot of cool things in there. He's a very interesting character. He's not just worth hating mindlessly. I just don't care. Arigato. Moving on. Playing around and having a good time. Yes, those two whom I had looked down upon so much were radiating far more charm than I was. You really looked like you were enjoying yourself that day. The look on you, your face was far brighter than any you've ever shown me. Sickening, isn't it? I just assumed that you liked me. And even had some childish fantasy that we might end up dating. Doesn't care and proceeds to give the vice theory level of analysis. Don't say that! Don't say that to my face, man. Okay, whatever. It's neat. It's neat that the game is written in a neat way, that is all. Whatever. I once suddenly thought as though my girlfriend had been stolen from me and let myself get hurt. I was such a pathetic man. That's why I finally realized how foolish I'd been.
George-sama.
After that, stuff happened and Butler-kun stopped coming to the family conferences. But I heard about him from time to time from Uncle Rudolph. He's a pretty funny guy. Even though he got in fights with Butler-kun all the time, he always paid close attention to what his son was up to.
That's true. He spoke to me about it as well. I think even Sumu-sama was exasperated by it. She thought all his popularity with the girls at school and the unceasing trouble with his cause must have been because of Rudolph-sama's blood.
And Jessica-chan too. I hear she built up a huge number of friends, both boys and girls, and that she was always right in the middle of things. When I talked with her myself, I could see that this was no exaggeration. Cute. It's neat the game is good. This Unk can write. Man, you were right. Playing this after Delta Poop, yeah, it's a really big breath of fresh air. This proved that the two I looked down upon were much more attractive human beings than I was. At first, I tried to imitate those two. It was pretty ridiculous. I thought that by joking around and speaking rudely, I could get the same charm they had.
You did that? That's a bit hard to picture.
It was miserable. I wish I could forget that time for the rest of my life. In any event, I quickly realized that I could never become truly attractive by imitating them like that. The reason I had no charm was because of my cowardice. Under the pretense of respecting people and acting to fit in with the general atmosphere, I was just always running away. I resolved myself to overcome that flaw and be reborn. I finally understood the shell I was in, and I swore to break out of it. Every time my determination began to waver, I'd remember that day. That day I saw you two forget about me entirely and play around happily. And the fact that those eyes of yours, which I always assumed were attracted to me, never noticed me at all. She's filled with what? I made an oath. This time, I wanted to be the one who caught your attention for real, the one reflected in your eyes. That's actually the first thing I felt when I fell in love with you.
Sounds like it was pretty complicated for you.
On that day, my desire for revenge against the two of you who had ignored me and played together, no, against you alone, suddenly transformed into true love. However, I swear this to God, even though that was the reason I first started to take you seriously, there are no lies in the way I feel about you now. I swear to love you for all my life. I will not lie about that for anyone or anything, and I am prepared to take you as my wife, even if it means having the entire world as my enemy.
George-san.
That was a confession I wanted to make to you before. Before now, I've called you my first love, love at first sight. That was a lie. It was only my selfish, twisted.
Doesn't matter.
Shannon smiled, but she spoke forcefully enough to cut through George's words.
Is there some rule saying that people can't get together just because they weren't each other's first love? It's a betrayal to forget the first person you fell in love with.
I don't know what that means. Because way back then, I compared it to the woman behind the slaughter writing Shannon X George fanfiction because she thinks that those characters would be cute, and writing Canon X Jessica fanfiction because she thinks those characters would be cute. I mean, that can still be true. The woman herself doesn't love George like that, but she can still project through Shannon. But I'm also just thinking, like, well, does this mean that she was trying to fall in love with George as well after Butler left? So she's, Butler was her first love, and, she's okay with George being her second. But it didn't work out too well. But she tried to do it through Shannon. She tried to move on from Butler through Shannon. I mean, that's really what was happening, wasn't it? She was trying to move on with George through the personality of Shannon by forgetting who she was originally. And then this bum, Butler, decides to come back one year, and that just undid all of the woman behind the slaughter's healing. And she just reverted back to the original personality and went all Jeff the Killer on everyone, I guess. Anyways, alright. Yeah, I mean, that sounds right. It doesn't sound right, it sounds like it would make sense. I had something else in mind, but I forgot. Oh yeah, and something else. If that's not the case, I wonder if she's talking about Butler himself. Like, I mean, Butler was like 7 years old though when he left, so I don't think he was a super playboy and had 5 girlfriends, but sure, let's say that back then Butler was also having some girls in kindergarten or whatever. So Shannon is just, she's coping. She's coping to herself, saying that it's fine that I wouldn't have been Butler's first, as long as he still loves me, that's fine, right? So she's not projecting here, she's just coping here. That she would have been okay if she wasn't Butler's first. because she just really loved him. Anyways, moving on. I got everything wrong, whatever.
Love isn't that simple.
None of this means anything. This right here is just about George, and it means nothing.
Well, it might be simple. After all, love is easy. At all times, whatever you feel now, only the honest feelings you feel now can tell you the right answer. So, things of the past or how our relationship started are important. I don't know.
Nice circle thinking. Yeah? Okay, here's more. There's another thing that could be attributed to Butler. That it doesn't matter if Butler left for 7 years. If he came back and recognized her and accepted her, she would have been happy and probably not killed everyone. Or maybe she's talking after the murders that, you know, they could probably still be something after the murders. I don't know. Just throw everything out there. I guess, bro. Nothing means anything. Gotta add the whatever at the end. It don't matter. What? Whenever I feel confident about saying something, you guys dunk on me. So I gotta make it clear that, you know, I'm wrong. Nothing's right. Okay, whatever. Moving on. Then confessing to all that was wrong with me.
No. I'm a bit glad to learn that even George-san, who's always the perfect at everything, has a human side to him. And I'm kind of glad that I'm the only person you've told this to.
Thank you. I was only able to become who I am because of you.
Me too. I am as I am because of you, George-san. So please, tell me without holding back. What kind of husband and wife will we be? And what kind of future will we build together?
When I have you as my wife, I will become an even more accomplished businessman than my father. And after several challenges and adventures, I hope to find the limits of my potential. I want to reach the peak together with you. The view from there would be something no one could show you but me. You did scar me. I'm so scared to talk about the woman behind the slaughter and all her personalities. Because now I just don't have nothing. I have nothing yet. I want to learn more before I say too much. When I gotta read like 4 different characters at once to read her. Okay, man. I need more. But it was me. It sounds fun.
I'll be with you wherever you go.
Of course, I won't only be an adventurer as a businessman. I like to create many things that only a couple can make.
And what could that be?
Don't say it, man. Yeah. Let's have some kids.
Yes, my husband.
I'd like 3 of them, at the least. At least 1 boy and 1 girl.
And what if all 3 are boys?
Then the next one might be a girl. We can have a 4th one. It doesn't matter how many. Let's enjoy the adventure of bringing them up together. And when those children eventually leave their nest, they'll make us some grandchildren. Before we know it, we'll reach a boisterous old age surrounded by a whole crowd of kids and grandchildren.
It sounds like fun. I wonder what kind of a grandpa you'll be.
I wonder what kind of grandma you'll be. I can't do this. Because it's so sad. Because the woman behind the slaughter never believed that she was ever going to actually become a grandma or a mother. Because, you know, she knew that it all had to end tonight. They were just beautiful little dreams that she herself didn't believe, but she let her character Shannon believe, I suppose. Oh. See, like, that's the thing here. I assume some people might read this, and if they already have it in their head to hate super mega pedophile George, they'll find this, like, really gross, right? Like, look at this incel. trying to make this woman into a baby machine and making her go through the pain of having children and raising them and whatnot. And sure, there's things to look into there. He was raised to see women like that, right? I'm sure he is a women eat salad, men eat chitlins type of guy, right? But I read this, and while I do think that there's two characters in this scene, it's not just about George, and it's just so incredibly heartbreaking. She's going along with this, and power dynamics, I guess. But I don't know. I don't wanna. For now, I have no evil thoughts about George. That's good things to read into for another time. But for now, I'll see him as innocent as well, just a little misguided. So looking at it like that, and there's two characters. You have Shannon here. She's playing along with it. It's just very sweet. It's very sweet because she, being a product of Kinsa and his terrible crimes, she stopped believing in love, basically. She doesn't, like, that's not it. It's not she stopped believing. She was never been given the time to see love for what a beauty it is. She projects that beauty she wishes to see through Shannon with the sea and all that. And her real feelings are with Kanon, who cannot see it. And you have, Butler, her first love, left her. And now George came too late. She already made up her mind that she was going to kill everyone. And, this future that she would have done anything for 7 years ago when Butler left. This future of becoming a mother, of becoming a grandmother, of raising kids, raising them properly, not how she had to suffer growing up. Of being normal, of being a normal woman who's treated like a woman, like a person, not like furniture, not like, to be real. It's so sweet. And she's just living out this fantasy that she knew would never come true because she's going to die through the character of Shannon with George. It's so unbelievably heartbreaking, and it makes me sad, and I almost started bawling, but I held it in. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. That's all. Me looking at Donut Boy, damn, I kind of went too far with this child of man. Okay. Sims was just my best experiment. He was the very, very interesting one. WD Tomato. Okay. Look at my funny chats for distraction. Do not freaking say whatever. It don't matter at this. Throwing you a low ball or some man and I go in circles. I didn't. I'm good. I don't care this time if I get dunked on and it turns out that, yeah, Ryukishi was trying to tell the story of super mega pedophile George and that his power dynamics are very problematic with Shannon here and she should not be turned into a baby making machine. And I am wrong about everything I said, but I will stand on my ground for this one. I think it's very cute and I'm actually sexist and I hate women. Okay. I wonder what kind of grandma you'll be. Oh. Yeah, she wonders too, man. However, I will always keep loving you. I can't read this. It's too much. I can just imagine the woman behind the slaughter writing this in tears. I mean, that's what magic is all about. Being able to live in a perfect future for a little while. A future you know will never come. And when we eventually pass away, surrounded by our vast family, our lives will stretch behind us, unmatched by anyone else's. George didn't just talk about his love of the present. He swore to love her soul until the final moment. when the lid of their coffins would be shut. Then George took out a small pocket of his pocket. Even without opening it, she knew what was inside. It's no different. It's no different from being a writer, you know? If we write anything and create characters and whatnot, we project onto them. We give them what we want sometimes if we don't want to torture them, you know. So she's just writing Shannon to be the woman that she wished she could have been. The one that could break out. Yeah. That's the bit there. The one that could break out, get married to George, and leave this hellish island, never to look back, and leaving all the memories of that island on that island, right? But that's not who she is. She was not able to escape. Her whatever she has forced her to stay on the island and take out this plan to kill everyone. She could not escape. She could not become a grandma. But since she knows this is her reality and her future, she's just gonna write this character Shannon to know what it feels like for a little while to be happy. Yada yada yada. I won't say it. Moving on. He took it out with a motion that was even more natural than the one he practiced in the airport bathroom. And it was overflowing with masculine charm. Sile. Yes. Let's get married. Yes. Please, take this ring and put it on your finger. Yes, George-san. That ring which glistened divinely, even when in the dim light of the island. Can I see it? She doesn't have it on her finger. Passed from George's hand to Shannon's finger. Of course, Shannon had already decided which finger to put it on. I swear to resolutely stand against any fate that may attempt to stand in our way, in the way of our future. George proclaimed that he would reveal their engagement to the entire family on the next day. My parents might criticize this marriage. However, I will not let them stop us. I'm going to inform them of our engagement, not ask for their permission. If Mother says that she won't allow our marriage, I plan to have myself disinherited and we'll leave this family together. I have been prepared for that since long ago. I swear once again to resolutely stand against all fates that get in the way of our future. George had said it out loud, so Shannon said the same thing.
Me too. I swear to stand against all fates that get in the way of our future, George-san.
Hurry up, bro. My favorite chapters in the entire VN are coming out. Yeah. 1 second. I will go grab water. I finished mine. BRB. Back.
Butler-san, when will the crime start? I'm just hot about to had it with this love show.
Be quiet and watch.
Sure, fine. I'd hate to yawn and let some spectacular bit of foreshadowing slip by.
Do you have no love?
Are there any mystery novels that accept love as proof? No, there aren't.
Erika laughed coldly and stared down at the two on the game board. Butler watched her quietly. Erika thought she felt a touch of pity in his gaze, and she averted her eyes uncomfortably.
I do understand, more or less. Love can at least become a motive for murder. I can interpret the scene beneath the arbor to represent a possible motive for the crime if their engagement is somehow impeded. Then again, no matter how much people talk of love with words that aren't read, it's all just an illusion.
That's sad. So you could never love a human without proof given to you by a witch.
Please put an end to this frivolous love talk. I am your enemy, not a friend to whom you can talk about love just for the hell of it. I can't understand you at all right now. What on earth did you figure out? Weren't you and Beeto always insultingly trying to kill each other? What kind of truth could you possibly have reached to make you change your emotions regarding her? Please don't tell me that the feeling of true love is spread from your murderous rivalry or anything like that, okay?
Lady Erika, let us have him continue the game's progression. Boring love scenes such as this are best finished.
Sorry for butting in. Come on, let's move on. It's Shannon. I've come back.
Indeed. The log for today has not yet been filled out.
Yes, I'll do that right away. Kanunkan, thanks for keeping an eye out while I was gone.
That was a pretty long break. Kanan had already noticed. There was a silvery glint coming from the ring finger on Shannon's left hand. Then I will retire. Please do not hesitate to wake me if anything occurs.
Good night, Genji-sama.
Genji disappeared off to the waiting room. After that, only Shannon and Kanan remained.
Thanks for giving me some time. I'll stay here for the rest so you can go to sleep now.
So, it's my turn next.
Yeah, sorry, but we aren't going to lose.
And I won't lose either.
Even though you've always been a coward and let my lady take the lead until now?
Wasn't it you who taught me, Nessa?
What did I teach you?
The past is immaterial when it comes to love. The present is all that matters. If that's true, then I think my present is in no way inferior to yours, Nessa. Shannon and Kanon glared at each other with serious eyes. The period of tension vanished when Shannon chuckled.
Yes, that's good. You and my lady have to give it your all. If you two end up together, make sure you build up a relationship wonderful enough that the rest of us can cheer you on with all of our hearts.
Well, you do have a huge lead on me.
There's no helping that. That's what you get for your cowardice for now.
I know. That is my sin. Shannon and Kanon fished around in their pockets and drew out two small strings that glittered gold. They looked like the left and right wings of a gold butterfly.
We are furniture. In order to become human and receive the miracle that allows us to have, we must rely on the miracle of magic once again.
To think that her brooch would actually prove useful.
It's the only magic within our reach.
It was a golden butterfly brooch, which Beatrice had once given to Shannon in the hopes of creating love between her and George. Shannon then gave it to Kanon, but he let his emotions get a hold of him and crushed it into pieces. So when the two wings that they held were brought together, it would regain the form of a beautiful butterfly. Then, I'll be back soon. After all, They have asked me to play cards with them.
Yeah, good luck. I'm sure my lady will be happy.
It's a bit embarrassing.
Enjoy that feeling.
Oh. Kanon left the servant room. He went to go see Jessica and tell her what he had determined to do. Shannon quietly watched him go. Fragment of the brooch and the engagement ring left off a gold and silver glint. That takes me back. That's something I gave Shannon if I recall. I always wondered if he lost it after Kanon stepped on it, but it seems they still had it the whole time. Drinking water.
That's the golden butterfly bridge, isn't it? I read about the magical bridge that can save a love relationship in Feathering Sun's book.
It had been the first time that Beatrice Witch of the Forest had interacted with a human and given them her power. Bit by bit, she had transformed from a mere ghost to the ruler of the Mushroom Eye. And by making the servants believe in her, she had wiped away the anti-magic power. And then, this song. And then it eventually became possible for her to appear openly in front of Shannon, whose magic resistance had grown particularly low and who had begun to believe in the existence of Beatrice. To Beato, who had been unable to interact with anyone for many years, this conversation with Shannon must have been especially fun. That's why I generously gave her the butterfly brooch. I was in quite a good mood. It is no common thing for a heartless witch such as myself to be so gracious.
But it's wonderful. You brought a pair of future lovers together.
Of course, I did not do it to pamper them. It was in exchange for smashing that hateful spirit mirror that had repressed my magical powers. Thanks to that, I was able to regain much of my power all in one go.
But then one night, purple lightning smashed the shrine. Those with the surrounding islands called it an evil omen. Oh, now that I think about it, that must have been a prelude to Beatrice's summer's resurrection.
Kumasawa had the rest of the night off, so she had let Erika talk her into drinking. It was chatting about the legend of Akujikishima and Beatrice in a happy tipsy mood. Erika would nod from time to time, but besides this, she listened in complete silence. She wasn't actually taking notes, but she was gathering information on the whiteboard inside her head. Then she frowned as though noticing something out of place and held up her hand.
Wait a second. Yes? That shrine was built by a traveling Shugenja monk to seal up the evil spirits of Akujikishima. Isn't that right? Yes, that is correct. There was one who possessed a supernatural power and who placed that power within the mirror and placed it within the shrine as a sacred mirror to seal the evil spirits. Something feels off about that. Why would a shrine to seal the evil spirits of Akujikishima also seal Beatrice? Well, because a sacred mirror is spiritual power. I see. So, it's this really convenient sacred mirror that works on both evil spirits from the east and witches from the west. Got it. I'm still not satisfied, but I'll back up there for now. What I don't understand is why Beatrice can't stand spiderwebs.
According to the legend, the evil spirits of Akujikishima despise spiderwebs, so they were apparently used as wards against evil in the surrounding islands. In fact, spiders are a useful bug. There's nothing strange about the fact that island farmers have treasured them. It's very possible that they were then tied to the story of evil spirits and became known as charms against evil, leading to a tradition of people treating this treating this useful bug with care through the generations.
But that's just the legend of Akujikishima. The origins for the legend of the switch Beatrice came after Ushiro Miyakinso moved to this island. When rumors sprouted about the mysterious island of gold, as well as the witch mistress who gave it to him. In other words, the evil spirits of Akujikishima and the Golden Witch Beatrice were originally completely different things. And yet the stories treat them like they're the same. Wow, now.
The evil spirits of Akujikishima could not stand spiderwebs. So neither could Beatrice. That sort of reasoning has been applied all over the place. When it was pointed out that this was strange, Kumasawa was lost for an answer. The Tono to Kinza-san's study has a scorpion magic circle drawn on it, which represents a charm against evil and Western sorcery. That's why the Western witch Beatrice can't touch it. I can understand that. There's no reason for Beatrice to dislike spiderwebs. I don't remember spiderwebs ever being included among things witches can't stand. On the contrary, wouldn't spiders be the friends and minions of a witch? Well, in my opinion, those two legends about the evil spirits of Akujikishima and the witch Beatrice have been mixed together a little. In fact, maybe they've been fully fused together as one. The legend of Akujikishima is a fairy tale created by fishermen fearful of reefs in the Rokkenjima area. However, there was no visual image to go along with those evil spirits. Whether people, monsters, or ghosts without legs, there's no mental pictures of them. People are bad at imagining things without visuals. That's when the legend of the witch called Beatrice came in. A witch is a lot easier to picture than evil spirits. And on top of that, Kinzo-san had a portrait of Beatrice drawn and displayed. In other words, the lack of a visual image, which was the one weak point in the legend of Akujikishima, was completely completed. Since then, perhaps the two legends have been mixed together. Well, I wonder. It is a bit confusing for an old lady such as myself. Kumasawa laughs to smooth it over, wiping away a cold sweat. She might have seemed confused, but she actually did understand what Erika was saying. In truth, she had been vaguely aware of how the legend of Akujikishima, which had been around before Ushiromiya Kinso had come to Ronkenjima, and the legend of the Golden Witch, the story of the woman who had given Kinso a vast quantity of gold, had both transformed. She didn't want to acknowledge it, but she knew. The setting where Beatrice hated the spirit meter and spiderwebs. This had been based on the ancient legend of Akujikishima. The evil spirits part of the legend had just been replaced by the witch of the portrait. So, if there really was someone claiming to be the Golden Witch Beatrice, I'd really like to ask her whether she actually does hate spiderwebs or not. What happens when she touches them? They say the witches and their minions receive bad when they touch spiderwebs. So that is probably what would happen, I suppose. That's not bad. A splendid witch trial. If the spiderweb touches her and she gets burned, then she's an evil spirit, not a witch. And if nothing happens, then it proves she's just a human. In other words, whether she's burned or not, I will prove that the Golden Witch does not exist. The legend of the witch is nothing more than the legend of Akujikishima reborn with a new face on it. Well, simply by the existence of the legend itself, this level of reasoning is possible for Beeto, Erika. What do you think, everyone? Though only the two of them were in the lounge, Erika faced in the direction of an invisible audience would have been, and shrugged. Just as Erika imagined, the targets of her comments really were there, listening in. You can bring Donut Boy into this chat. Like anyone here could possibly understand what you're talking about.
spider webs. They burn you if you touch them.
When Beeto the Elder snapped her fingers, he's like Slender Man. A graceful silver spider slipped down from the ceiling, hanging by a transparent thread. Afterwards, only a single silver strand remained. Timidly, Beeto stretched her finger out towards the spider string. Then she touched it.
I'm fine.
You are?
Huh?
Beeto the Elder lifted up a white pale finger after showing it to her little sister. She traced the silver string with it. There was a stench like a single hair being burnt. Once again, she held her finger up in front of Beeto, who was stunned. There was a thin burn line, as though someone had traced it across with a razor.
What's going on?
And that's what I would like to know. Why are you unharmed?
I don't know. What I don't understand is why you do get burned by touching a spider web.
I do not know. It has always been like that since I first gained consciousness.
Then, are you...
Beeto hesitated. However, her question was clear. No, I am not one of the evil spirits of Akujikishima. I am Beatrice, ruler of Ronkinjima's night. Even I do not know why I have the same weakness as this island's evil spirits of old.
Are spiderwebs the only things you can't handle?
As this Erika person said, I cannot touch the doorknob to Kinzo's study. That scorpion magic circle burns me. For me, trying to open the door to that study is like trying to pick a red-hot horseshoe out of a fire. What about you?
Huh? Scorpion magic circles, you mean?
The older sister snapped her fingers again. When she did, the surrounding scene bent and twisted as they had suddenly moved to the place in front of Kinzo's study. And there was a doorknob engraved with the scorpion magic circle. Those who research magic must have a refuge sealed off from both human and spiritual disturbances. It's no surprise that Kinzo chose to seal off this study and place a charm such as this here. And unfortunately, that affects me as well. She gently grasped the doorknob. As she did, a violent burning sound unbelievably stronger than the one caused by the spiderweb rang out.
One-sama, are you okay? Your hand! Oh!
Her hand had been horribly burnt, and Beeto couldn't help but avert her eyes. Fear not, this scratch will heal quickly. Apparently it would heal by itself if left alone. The older sister seemed to heal at an unhuman rate. However, it seems that you can handle it just fine. She timidly poked the doorknob. Nothing happened. Slowly, she touched it with her entire palm, but she felt nothing but a pleasantly cool sensation. Strange. Though you are my double, you are different from me in several ways.
While I might be able to touch the doorknob, if I ever get burned like you did, I don't think I'll heal that easily.
It's as though you're a normal human.
Yes. Even I find it a little hard to believe that I'm a witch. I can't use magic like you, and I can't get strange burns to heal from them out later. Father believed that I was a great witch reborn. But I cannot believe that.
Who are you?
I am Beatrice. I was born for Father's sake. And you, One-sama?
I am also Beatrice. I used magic to give Kinzo gold and later became a soul and the formless witch that haunts this island.
Just who on earth are we?
Unlike me, you seem to be a being in possession of a body.
Huh? Really?
Yes. I thought of it while listening to that Erika person. I am a witch who can use magic but has no body. And you are a witch who has a body but can use no magic. Eventually, perhaps we will become one, each filling in what the other lacks to form the true complete batteries. It seems to make sense. Both of the batteries are missing something. If they became one, then they would surely be very close to the batteries that battle desired. Do you want to try? Huh? Hold out your hand. The older sister slowly raised her palm and held it out before battle. The large burn from a second ago really had started to heal already. It may be possible for us to become one. I want to know as well. By becoming one with you, I want to learn about my future self. Battle also raised her hand slowly, and the two hands touched. But nothing happened. Perhaps this means that while they were fated to become one eventually, that time had not yet come. For me, being burned by spiderwebs is perfectly normal. However, you didn't even know about it. In the same way, you can say that the reason you were born was for your father's sake. Apparently, that father is Ushiro Miyabata. I know him as a rare guest who only comes a few times a year, but I cannot understand what connection you and I have with such an infrequent visitor. Surely we must learn more about each other.
Yeah, you're right. I get the feeling that learning about each other will lead us to something very important.
On the other side lies a single future, Beatrice. No, it may be more correct to call her the true form we are meant to possess. With their hands still joined, the two Beatrices swore to fill in the parts the other lacked, and regain their single form. Bit by bit, Beato was walking down the path that led to the former Beatrice. Yeah. I love that double trauma battery scenes. They're so nice. Okay. We are here. Oh, this is okay. I was planning on stopping, but fine. One more. One more for the road. I could hear the eerie sounds of wind and rain. Once again, I hastily regained consciousness on top of the bed. The finger that the witch had bitten off was attached to my hand. That's not to say that it was all an illusion, but my finger was now attached. Don't scream, I'm playing. You won't have to wait a week. After all, the pain and the teeth marks as though a witch had bitten it were still there. And yet the window which I had supposedly smashed had been fixed, as though it had never been broken in the first place. How can I escape from this creepy room? Why am I locked up in this eerie room all alone? I want to get out. I have to get out. Please, let me out. The door was sealed with a firm chain. I could open it a crack, but only enough to peek into the corridor at best. Even getting just a fist through it would probably be hard. The window wouldn't budge either. It was no better than a barred prison window. The bathroom didn't even have a window. The only thing that could get it out of there was the water that flowed out if we turned on the tap. No matter what I do, I can't think of a way out of here. While shut up in a place like this, I truly am a prisoner. Unless someone comes from the outside to save me, I won't be able to get out for all eternity. In that case, can't I just call for help? Yes, the tiny gap I can make in that door must exist so that I can call for help. but can I make the words come out? Earlier I tried to call for help, but for some reason the words couldn't escape my mouth. Maybe I was just confused. I might have lost my voice in my haste and confusion. I opened the door and make the crack appear one more time. The warm light of the hallway flowed in, making the darkness of the room stand out all the more. Though I couldn't hear any voices, I did feel something peaceful. I'm sure everyone's in the room at the other side of the hallway chatting happily about something. If I could just call out, surely someone will come to save me. Holding back some indescribable fear, I tried yelling once more. But the result was the same. It was like trying to yell underwater. All I did was get out of breath, unable to call out in the slightest. Even though I could say as much as I wanted if I just grumbled to myself inside the room. Whenever I tried to make my voice reach outside, I choked and was unable to say anything. I understand. My body isn't the one thing locked up in this eerie closed room. My voice is too. Thinking that I could use some kind of sound to call out for help, I tried opening and closing the door violently, making the chain rattle. It does sound as though it's clanking noisily, but it's surely no good. Even this sound is being locked inside this closed room. No matter how harsh a sound I make, I'm sure it'll be quieter than a leaf falling by the time it reaches the other side of the corridor. I tried using the hateful chain that sealed the door to make a sound to call for someone, but that only does deepen my despair. No, this chain is insane. Just a second ago, it was a stiff chain that looked like it might be used to seal a monster away, but at some point, it had transformed into a normal chain lock. This changes everything. Now I can just undo it from the inside. I tried to undo it, but the chain wasn't long enough for that, while the door was still open a crack and I couldn't get it off. Obviously. Calm down. I gulped and calmly closed the door. Then, when I saw that the chain had slacked enough, I touched it with my finger to make sure. When I was little, I hated chains because I could never get them undone right. However, that was a long time ago. Now I can undo something like this. Anyone could. It's easy. Clank. I imagined the demon who'd locked me in this room, using this as a trap to give me hope just to make me despair even more, but I pushed through those thoughts aside for the time being. I undid the chain lock, and the chain dangled there right before my eyes. Now, there's no lock sealing the door. Please don't torment me anymore, and just open normally. Slowly the door opened. When I closed the door to undo the chain, the warm light from the hallway got cut off. If I opened it again, what if that warm light is gone then, this time? I was even afraid of stuff like that. However, that was just me over-imagining things. Slowly, quickly. No, I guess this is normal for a door. As the door let out an annoying creak, the exit from the cursed closed room finally opened. Hello and farewell, Phoenix. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you have fun as well. I did it! I did it! Even my cry of joy was strangled. But that doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is that I can get out. I poked my head out and looked left and right down the corridor. The warm corridor. I could sense people having fun at the other end. Everyone's right there. Let's go right now. Huh? At that moment, something cold and heartless crushed my throat. It was as though an iron loop had been twisted around my neck and pulled on hardly from behind. No, not as though. Without my knowing, at some point a thick metal collar had been fastened around my neck. When did this happen? When I turned around, I despaired even more. Out from the inner side of the door I had just opened, a thick chain had extended and attached itself to this collar I was wearing. I pulled on it, but it didn't even budge. When I shook it, the whole door creaked. What? The chain that connected to my collar was attached to the inner side of the door. Yes. The same vanishing chain that had secured the door a short while back had suddenly become a chain holding me in place. That's insane. That's insane! Damn it, what's going on here? I put with all my strength trying to tear the whole door off, but I already knew from repeated experimentations that it wouldn't even budge. I'm sure that this chain will disappear once I go back inside the room, but it will never let me leave that room. Though it had apparently turned back into a normal chain lock, nothing had actually changed. The chain lock still bound me to that door. The tears flowing down my face as I pulled with all I had. It was completely useless. No matter what I did, I would never tear it loose. And it wasn't even permitted to call out for help. I felt as confused anger at how the demon had mercilessly made me think that I escaped for just an instant. But no matter how much I yelled, no voice came out and no one on the other end of the corridor could hear me. Then I noticed an odd stain on the wall of the corridor. It wasn't a stain. They were letters, traced out by a finger that had been covered in red paint. Those letters, which looked like they've been drawn in blood, answered my biggest question. The chain lock must be set. You're allowed to unset it, but it must then be reset. Unless it is set, this exit of yours will be unusable. I instantly understood the meaning of the ominous message. Then I tried it out and understood completely. When I returned to the room and reset the chain lock, the collar around my neck disappeared. When I undid the chain lock again, the heavy feeling around my neck returned. In other words, I cannot leave this room while the chain lock still is unset. In that case, why didn't I just set the lock while outside the room? I undid the chain one more time. The collar chain appeared around my neck again. I stepped out the corridor and closed the door behind me, leaving only the slightest of cracks. I stuck my hand through the crack, I grabbed the dangling chain and tried to reset it somehow. Damn it. Even though it was so easy to do from the inside, why? Why is it so hard to do from the outside? The gap needed to be wide if I wanted to manipulate the chain well. However, that made the chain too short to reach. To make the chain reach just a bit further, I'd have to close the door a little bit more. But if I do that, there won't even be enough of a gap to fit my hand in. Of course, that was perfectly natural. Chain locks are made to be used from the inside. They could be completely pointless if you could set and unset them from the outside. That's why the length of the chain is specially chosen, to prevent anyone from setting or unsettling from the outside. Then, can I use some kind of hard and thin tool? If the gap of the door is just a finger's width across, there's more than enough for the chain to reach. If I could just bend a wire hanger so that it fits through the crack, I'd work the chain with that. That's right. There's a closet just to the side of the door. Could there be some hangers in there? Found one. Oh, thank God. A single cheap-looking hanger, like one you might find in a laundry room, was hanging there. Really? I'm pretty sure that when I last looked a short while ago, nothing like this was in the closet. Who cares? Quickly! Quickly! I twisted the wire hanger, bending the end with the tip around. I formed a loop at the end to grab at things with, making for a sort of burglar's tool. I then dashed out into the corridor again and closed the door almost as far as it would go. My wrist could never pass through this. However, if I could close it this much, the chain would have extra length to spare. This crack is large enough for me to stick the hanger through. Now it's just a matter of technique. If I keep trying, I'll definitely be able to do it. Eventually, I'm certain of it. It's harder than it looks. But the chain is long enough. It isn't impossible. I had finally got in my hands on the one way to escape. It was hard, yes, but it was theoretically possible. If it's possible, I'll be able to get out. I'll be able to escape from here. That moment, I felt a heavy weight on the far side of the door. It felt as though someone inside the room had pressed their forehead against the door and was drawing closer. And she, the witch, laughed. Then I felt a powerful and strange force in the wire hang. She's trying to grab it away from me. Yeah, right. Like hell I let go. Like hell I let my one key out of here get stolen while my guard's down. Fortunately, I stuck my wrist through it so that I wouldn't drop it if my hand got tired. You won't be able to snatch this out of my hands. The witch on the other side of the door laughed at me. Then I noticed something weird. I looked at my left hand, which I had pressed against the door to hold it in place. And between the fingers of that hand, I could see something red. They were red letters. I realized immediately. At some point in time, even more bloody letters had been drawn on the door. And my left hand had been covering them up. Still fighting against the vice-like strength of the witch beyond the door, I moved my left hand to the side. What the hand had, where that hand had been, bloody letters had indeed been drawn. And there, as though someone had predicted that I would struggle this way from the very beginning, there was a message from the witch to me. It is impossible to set or unset the chain lock on the outside by any means. All tricks done from the corridor had been sealed by the red letters. No way. There was suddenly a terrible sound, and the force pulling on the hanger was suddenly released. Then, when I pulled it out, I lost all hope. As though it had been hit by the acid in the room's darkness, the tip of the hanger had been burned and bubbled and melted off. Now it's pitifully short. This can't be used for anything. It would be useless to search for a substitute. All schemes to set the chain from the outside have been prevented. Damn it! I threw the remnants of the wire hanger against the floor, faced the hallway filled with the warm light and called for help. However, I just choked, unable to speak at all. Everyone's just down the corridor, and everything's peaceful there. I can't hear their voices, but I know. I'm sure they're all having a good time playing cards. Please, someone notice! Someone save me! This time it wasn't the witch's voice. It was the happy voices of everyone else, which I could hear coming from the other end of the hallway. Someone come over here. Save me. Dude. I still don't even know who we're torturing. It has to be the woman behind the slaughter, right? And she's like, this is the core personality, the original. And she's being trapped by, you know, the bad personality. That makes sense, right? No? Maybe? I don't know, man. I don't care. Whatever. Okay, with that, I believe stream shall end now. I don't think I got another chapter in me. Does this sound goodly or no? Okay. I thought what? Okay. I thought that was the scene. There's more. I'll do more. I can do more. 3 hours is my limit. Okay, but we still got what? 40 minutes? 50? Okay, 1 second. Let me check some DM. I don't know if we'll finish the chapter, but we'll read more. Calm down, I was just looking at some stuff that I need to look at. I'm back, I'm here. Masterful. Okay. Sorry, but I'm out. George slammed his last card down, ending the game with his victory once again. Everyone gasped in unison. The cousin room was filled with laughter as they enjoyed their card game. Whoa, so you really did have it, George Aniki. Damn you, 6 of spades! Your 8 of diamonds is pretty nasty too, Batman. Oh, I was so close.
You're incredible, George Chan. You won again.
Yep, looks like we've won again. Lydia couldn't really hold her own in an all-out battle, so she had teamed up with George, which was why she was celebrating his victory. Cute. Utter defeat. Kanon wins and let his cards drop to the table. The game of sevens between Kanon and the cousins had been a fierce battle. Please, manga panel of this, I want to see them playing. Normally they would take things easy since Maria was there, so this sort of game was rare. Kanana started taking the game seriously, unwilling to lose, so George and Butler had responded and the battle had grown fierce. Unlike Butler, who was so carefree enough to enjoy it whether he won or lost, Kanon's mood changed drastically with every victory and defeat. It was less of a dislike for losing and more that he just wasn't used to playing. He wasn't used to trading a few wins and losses with his opponents, so he took even losses within a game seriously. Since he had resolved to win and had unfortunately challenged the veteran players George and Butler, the result was plain to see. As Kanon slumped his shoulders, Jessica slapped him on the back. Ow! Ow! I did the desk wrong. Hey, you almost had it! I love fighting all out like this. Whether you go all out or not, if you just lose in the end, it's all pointless. That's not true. If you really gave it your all, there's no reason to get all the points when you lose. If you lost after hardly trying, then you'd just be grumbling and complaining about how you would have won if you'd taken it seriously, right? That's right. People who really give it their all never complain. They're always cheering no matter what the result is. You're right. And they can be scarier than anyone else. They always learn something from their experience and grow. Very true. I was a coward, so I could never learn anything. I see that I am still immature. I am furniture, so any dreams I might have are pointless. Because he rigidly believed that he distanced himself from everything, shutting himself away. However, during that time, Shannon had undergone many life adventures. And now her hand was resting on the door separating furniture and human. The old Kanon would only have seen this card game as a way to pass the time. However, the new Kanon was now capable of gaining something new from this experience. That's probably what it means to grow. Furniture does nothing but rots with the passage of time. The ability to grow as a privilege is given only to humans. Since you're playing with us, you probably had work to do like filling in the vlog, right? I'm really glad you decided to hang out with us. Don't worry about it. I had a lot of fun too. Or should I say that I realized that this sort of thing is fun. Thanks for pushing me so hard for me to come. Let's challenge ourselves more and more. And let's go and find more and more things you didn't know about. By the way, about what we were talking about earlier. Ever wanted to try playing guitar? Well, I don't want to force you or anything, but it must be very difficult. Yeah, I guess. But I'll do a good job teaching you, and I'll even practice with you. Well, I guess I'm not that much of an expert myself. At first, Kanon was scared that he might make a complete fool of himself if he touched a musical instrument for the first time in his life. Ew, man, this Kanon sprite. After all, he knew that screwing up like that would make him feel bad. However, Kanon was starting to learn. It's only natural that I'll be bad when I first start. If I try to run away from it, I'll never learn a thing for all eternity. I'll never achieve anything. That's right! Isn't that why people love it when you feel themselves improving? Even I sucked at making my left and right hands move at the same time when I first started. But I slowly got the knack of it, and it started to feel more and more natural. Why are you being mean to him? He looks like you. Don't say that! How do you even know how I look like? He kind of does. I'd like to reach that level too. If one path to the goal is playing music with you, my lady, I would love to do that with you. Really? Yes. I'm sure I'll be horrible when I start, and I might even make you lose hope in me at times. But if I've given it my all, even messing up is no big deal. You literally send us videos? I do? Man, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just do things. I don't have any reason to hide myself. So, it makes sense to me that I would just send stuff like that without thinking twice about it. That's That's why I learned from you all just now. You're reversing me again. I love you more than ever, my lady. Because I averted my eyes for so long, even though you shone like the sun. I never noticed you were right next. I never noticed when you were right next. Oh my gosh, why can't I read this? I never noticed you when you were there right next to me. When you were right there next to me. Then I better work even harder to make you love me even more. And unserious and competitive words were more than enough to make Jessica shy. However, Kanon's expression unexpectedly clouded her. My lady, the reason I love you is so clear. Because of that, I can't bear not knowing. Not knowing what? Why did you start to like me? Unlike you, I don't shine in any sense. Even now, I'm just clinging to your back as you shine the way. I can't think of any reason why you would love someone as shabby as me. That's not true, okay? There are all kinds of good things about you, Kanan-kun. Let me swallow my pride and ask, what about me made you like me, my lady? Kanan hung his head. Since he had never learned anything of his own, he had never been able to take the initiative with her in any way. The fact that he was accepting her affection one-sidedly, unable to do anything but simply receive it, made him sad and frustrated at himself. Jessica was lost for words. After all, compared to the reason that Kanon had started to love Jessica, Jessica's reason was a lot more vague. She had heard Shannon talking about her love with George. And at school, she and her friends had always talked about relationships with boys. There would have been nothing strange about a girl fascinated by the idea of romance developing an interest in a nearby member of the opposite sex. However, if you put that into words, it might be misinterpreted to mean that any nearby boy would have done just as well. However, she could still be proud of that feeling she felt at this very instant. She really did love Kanan, and she truly wanted to experience a romance. As a result, they might end up together, or they might not. However, if she reached that result without holding back, she could accept it no matter which it was. That's why she was able to become serious and honest about how she felt. However, she couldn't find the right words to tell Kanon this. When Kanon saw Jessica bite her lower lip in frustration, she finally realized. I'm such a fool. Huh? What about me do you like? That very question is foolish. It's proof that I am not serious about myself, and that I haven't been able to understand even myself. It's horrible of me to try and make you say it's for me. That's not true! After all, it's the first question any girl would like to ask after being given a love confession. What part of me do you like? It was immature of me to ask you that. How could anyone love someone so immature? Wait, that's not... Jessica panicked, trying to desperately to explain how she felt. However, Kanan was calm. And then he spoke. In that case, I want you to love me. The way I already love you. I've decided to start changing myself so that that can happen. I can hardly imagine that you would love me as I am. But someday, no matter what. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure you'll become a wonderful person, Kanan-kun. A guy so cool that I can't keep my eyes off you. Until then, I'll stick by you all the way. We have plenty of time. But unfortunately, there isn't much time left. What do you mean? It usually saddens you when I talk about furniture. However, this is something I must tell you. And it is also something I must fight for with all my soul. What are you talking about? I don't want to hear any more of that on furniture so I can fall in love talk. You're a human, not furniture. Yes, I would like to become human. However, I am still furniture. In that case, just do it! Become human! The witch taught me once about the single element of this world. According to her, it's love. It's something that humans born into this world can take for granted. However, Is that something that those not from this world who were born as furniture can take for granted? In order to gain it for themselves, they must have magic or a miracle. In the same way that Nesan and Jortsama would never have ended up as they have without borrowing the power of the golden butterfly brooch. I don't really get that last part. What don't you understand? Let me hear it. Since the game began, a large portion of the time has been spent on Shannon and Kanon's determination to fall in love. I've got no problems interpreting that as a story of growth and teenage determination for a girl and boy who call themselves furniture. But one of the assumptions they make feels really out of place to me. Why is magic necessary? Is that it? Both Shannon and Kanon call themselves furniture. They've always claimed that there can be love between furniture and humans. At that point, the magic of the golden butterfly brooch comes into play, and as the miraculous result of its magic, love is established between Shannon and Jorichan. That's what they claim. Might it mean merely that forbidden love between people of different classes would be unmanageable without the miracle of magic? True. I can accept that Shannon and Kanon, who are servants for forbidden love with members of the family and suffering for it, might debase themselves by calling themselves furniture. But then what is it you cannot accept? Without borrowing the power of magic once more, marriage would be impossible. It seems to be a common understanding between Shannon and Kanon. I just can't understand that part. After meeting in secret for quite some time, George and Shannon had finally gotten engaged. Both were fully prepared for it emotionally. And though there would be some trouble with their relatives, it would probably be impossible for anyone to prevent their marriage at this point. Trying to stand between two who wish to be wed is as foolish as standing in front of an arrow and trying to catch it. Exactly. Now that Giorgione-chan has sworn to protect his lover for the rest of their lives, he has no need to fear opposition in this inheritance from his parents. On the contrary, he might even consider that a perfect test of his love for her. In other words, they will be married no matter what. No one can stop them. And they both consented to the engagement. No one can stop them or impede them. Trying to break apart lovers is a foolhardy adventure. Yeah. And that's what's strange. There's no need for magic. If George and Shannon had wanted Eva's approval for their engagement, then magic might really have been necessary. After all, Eva had forbidden his relationship with her. No matter how much George spoke on Shannon's behalf, the chance of Eva being convinced were very near zero. If that was the case, it would be understandable if they wanted a magical miracle to make Eva acknowledge that engagement. However, Giorgione-chan has already made an oath. He doesn't care whether his parents approve of the engagement or not. Yeah. There's nothing standing in the way of their engagement. And Shannon should know that well herself. So why is it that now, on this night where the proposal went so smoothly, she's still praying for a miracle of magic? According to furniture, she won't even have the right to marry without such a miracle. And there you go. It means that Shannon has accepted George's proposal, but she knows that there's still some kind of barrier that can't be overcome without a magical miracle. And the barrier isn't something that they can overcome by their own efforts. That's why they need this miracle called magic. Why do they need magic? If two people love each other, what other miracle could they possibly need to be together? I see. Renarine listened to Anji's interpretation, smiling in a satisfied way. Apparently she had already reached that conclusion and enjoyed watching Anji finally manage to do the same. And that same question applies to Kanon as well. The love between him and Jessica Oni-chan had just begun, but their emotions are pure. There's nothing standing in their way. They were already in a loving relationship even without the golden butterfly brooch. The relationship they started might easily last for years, eventually resulting in marriage. There's nothing standing in their way either. As long as they don't seek approval from Kraus and Natsuki, it seems that they will not need the magical miracle either. Exactly. Kanon watched how Shannon lived and changed his ways of life. Then he let his true feelings be known and started the relationship with Jessica on each other. There's no need for magic anymore. If it were a one-sided love, then he might need a love charm or something. But their feelings are already mutual. They're already communicated their intentions for one another. So why do they still need a magical miracle? Both furniture were in relations of mutual love. There shouldn't have been any need for any miracles any longer. So why do they still desire some miracle? And on top of that, the single brooch was portrayed as bestowing only a single miracle. It felt almost as though Shannon was hesitating because she used up the miracle for herself. Kanon's chances at love would be automatically sealed away for eternity. So this is the question. Why is furniture not allowed to love? So, you ask why love will not be permitted without the miracle known as magic. And also, though the furniture laments that such certainty that they're unable to love, this golden butterfly brooch is supposed to give them permission to do it. Just what on earth is it? Of course, it is a crystallization of magic. However, like most magics, it can be burnt by the anti-magic toxin. So it can only have an effect on those who believe in magic and witches. Correct. So Shannon, who was capable of interacting with me, was able to make use of its benefits. However, if Shannon had dropped it on the sandy beach and someone who knew nothing had picked it up, if that person was shrouded in the anti-magic toxin, they wouldn't be able to make use of the witch's magic power. Precisely. A witch's magical items often lose their power if they are not handed over correctly. Directly or correctly? Directly. However, just as how a witch can manifest herself if her existence is not acknowledged by a great many humans and the anti-magic toxin disappears. The power of the magical item can be preserved if it is believed in by a great many humans. That's ironic. No matter what kind of magic that we just give out, everything depends on whether the human we give it to can accept it. I have heard the same goes for medicine. Even with the exact same medicine, humans who know of the medicine's effect experience it to a greater degree. I mean, the same goes for love as well. Your love can be pure and you really mean it and you really love the person, you can give it to the person, but it doesn't mean the person will recuperate it unless they feel it the same. So I get it. Oh, I think I understand. When taking cold medicine, I've gotten the feeling that it's more effective when you read the description on the bottle. As she listened, Beeto thought that magic sounded a bit like a ritual. When most humans think of magic, they think of incredible miracles being performed on one after another in front of a crowd of another humans. However, this true magic that the older sister spoke of sounded almost like a ritual. Something that has no effect if the person using it doesn't believe. Shannon's heart was captured by Joji's bit by bit as he grew by leaps and bounds. However, she had given up thinking that one of the different class such as herself would never find love with him. That was when Beatrice had given her the golden butterfly brooch and encouraged her. Giving up means that you've got zero chances of success. However, if the power of magic makes you think there might be some chance of your wish coming true, then the odds of it happening are at least greater than zero. Settle means settle forever, so miracle is a fitting word to describe even a faint chance of becoming into existence. Humans can use magic to defeat resignation. The process by which they themselves make their probability of success settle. When a human refuses to give up, though their chances of success may be small, those chances do exist. And the more determined they become, the greater those odds rise. It is easy to imagine Shannon making earnest wishes upon the brooch, believing in its effect, and trying little things over and over again to get Georgie to like them. The power to believe becomes magic. And those who make others believe are witches. Those who make others believe are witches. It's an interesting way to put it. If you think about it, it's true. Let's say a witch steps into the spotlight, waves her staff in front of a crowd of onlookers. It makes a rabbit appear out of thin air. The many people who see it will surely assume it to be a sleight of hand. They might wonder at how it was accomplished, but they surely say that it couldn't have been real magic. And when they applaud, it will be for a splendid trick that only appeared to be magic. If you think about it, it's true, said Ryukishi, patting himself on the back. And I stand up and clap. Yes, man, it is. But what if? What if someone performed a sacred ceremony inside a great ancient temple in front of a crowd of believers and ended up with the exact same result? Would any of the people there think it was a sleight of hand? In fact, the greatest ancient past, when the magic tricks as a form of In fact, in the ancient past, when magic tricks as a form of entertainment didn't even exist and divine spirits were worshipped, this would doubtlessly have been a miracle of magic. In that case, could this here be magic? Uh-huh. Well now, that would be the first spell performed by the witch unable to use magic. Here, I have an empty teacup. There is nothing inside it. Yes, it is empty. And then what? You take it, turn it like this, and place it upside down on the table. And then, what next? Let's both close our eyes and chant an incantation. It was the same magic that had been used to give Maria candies. Beato the other grinned and closed her eyes. When she saw this, Beato slowly chanted the incantation. Try to remember. What was inside the cup? Indeed. Come, try to remember. What was inside the cup? And she chanted. Beato slowly opened her eyes and made sure that the older sister was repeating her with her eyes closed. Then a single gold butterfly appeared out of nowhere, fluttered down onto the overturned cup, and scattered away in a golden splash. May I open my eyes now? Yes! Please open your eyes and inspect the contents of the cup. Well now, let's see how well your first bit of magic is performed. Taking her time and dragging out the suspense a little, the older sister lifted up the cup. Uh-huh. How is it? When the cup was lifted up, there lay a single golden rose petal. Does this count as magic? Yes, it does. You used magic to create a golden flower petal inside an overturned cup. It was a splendid bit of magic. Without love, it cannot be seen. That much I understand. It may be viewed as a trick. It may also be viewed to be magic. It all depends upon the toxin of the individual. Then again, while this can explain some of the magic that has been used in the past, it can't explain everything. To get back to the point, all this stuff about believing in magic and rituals, it doesn't answer the question. What was this golden butterfly brooch, which allowed the furniture who strongly believed that they could not love to finally find love? If we blindly accept the story of those two battles are true, might we assume that magic had the power to cancel out their feelings of resignation? Why mustn't furniture fall in love? Why is the power of magic brooch necessary? Yes, it does seem at a glance as though what you and the Baptists are saying provides an answer, though a vague one. However, let me say this as a reader. I can't accept this as you presented it. You cannot accept it, you say? The tragedy those furniture are struggling to resist is way too big to be explainable by that. I doubt they could reform their way of thinking just because they were given some charm for making relationships. It's true that the brooch gave Shannon the chance she needed to get together with George on each other. But sometime after that, she said she wanted to deepen the relationship without borrowing the power of the magic, and she even tried to give the brooch back to Beeto. At that point, she supposedly rejected the miracle of magic for a time, so why would that power be necessary again? Well, now, perhaps there is no way to say it except that love and marriage are very different things. Feathering laughed lightly. She had probably formed a theory of her own and was slapping an Angie if we hadn't reached it yet. Let me hear it. What's your view? I like to keep that to myself for just a little while longer. And of course, watching you form doubts and let your mind race is one of the joys of being read aloud to. If I gave you my views, you would accept them and stop thinking. Then having you read aloud would be no fun. So you're having me read the mystery novel you already know the answer to, so you can enjoy watching me blunder about. Well, I am the Witch of Titerboin. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Toya can be all yours. Toya can be all yours. That's your kin. That's your kin. If you wish to laugh at my bad days, please do not hold back, my Miko. Wah ha ha ha. I understand that part of magic is created by a believing heart, and that magic probably permeates deep into the world of us humans as well. However, though it permeates so far, the power that dwells within magic is small. Lots of people visit shrines to pray for success on tests. However, people rarely credit such a visit as the reason for their success. By itself, praying does little more than give one peace of mind. In love, where even a small chance and a little bit of courage can result in major changes, this power can sometimes bring about incredible transformation. However, would something like that really be enough to change the insurmountable fate of furniture? In the past, when Shannon and George were brought together, I imagined that the brooch's magical power functioned as little more than as a ritualistic charm. However, by now, the magical power that the furniture seek from the brooch is not something as vague as a ritual. It feels much stronger, like a whole different interpretation of magic. If you believe in a sleight of hand, it becomes magic, but there's no more than a child's trick. And that only explains one part of magic. They are hoping for something. They're hoping for something with much, much more power. For true magic, not a sleight of hand. So then, just what kind of magic is the furniture expecting from that brooch? A golden butterfly brooch. The brooch is a magic charm that the golden witch Beatrice gave to Shannon in exchange for smashing the mirror, and which made her love bear fruit. That's what this is. From his pocket, Karan put a single wing from a gold butterfly. There was a single wing. It was easy to tell from the shape and that it had originally been part of something like a butterfly motif. The magic of this brooch gave Shannon the chance she needed to start her relationship with George-sama. However, before that magic was fully realized, she left it to me. So thanks to the power of this brooch, I gained your affection, my lady. It's not true. I started liking you because of my own honest feelings. Thank you very much. You are a human, so you do not believe in witches or magic. It's only natural. However, as furniture created by magic, my very existence here is proof that the miracle of magic exists. Sorry, what are you talking about? Jessica tried to make sense of Kanon's words. However, she couldn't understand and had to ask him to repeat it wearing a stiff smile. Both Shannon and I need magic to succeed in love. The key for that is in this brooch. I stepped on it and crushed it, so we each have one part now. The brooch had lost its power when it was split in half. However, if it was ever joined together again, its magic would be revived. I would revive the miraculous power that could join furniture and a human together. However, a single brooch can only grant one person's wish. I wonder what this is a metaphor and an allegory for. I wonder. It's very impossible to figure out. Only one of us furniture can be joined by the single brooch. That was the final seed of love, the spark of love, which the old, sheerly laughing Beatrice had shown. The old Beatrice had said that humans tormented by this spark were like ripe fruits, which she crudely used for her own enjoyment. However, the magic infused within the seed was real. It was the only crystallization of magic that the golden witch Beatrice ever left in this world. Tell Featherin to explain. Its glint increased. Huh? What? It's okay. But please, don't look right at it. It'll blind you. The gleam grew even stronger, shining like the sun. Even without Kanon's warning, Jessica wouldn't have been able to stop herself from covering her eyes with her hands. As the light grew stronger, a sound like the roar of the wind or the tidals grew in intensity. The sound of the wind and rain outside had already been overwhelmed. Jessica could no longer even stand, and she crouched to the floor. A lot of sound and light. Until it withdrew, Jessica could do nothing but moan. Okay. Wow. What a stream. That was something. Furfur. That's one of the demons of the Gotea. I assume Sapat is one as well. Anyways, yeah. What a stream. That was awesome. No, I didn't. Okay, well, let me read what I skipped. Come on, it's okay now. Let's hurry. Okay, now I can say. Yeah. Wow. That was a lot. Especially that last segment with the two Beatrices. That was very cute and sweet and lovely. And Angie and Featherin. I love them so much. And the information about magic and whatnot and furniture and whatnot is... what? No, it's okay, yeah. It was very okay. That was good. Oh yeah, and obviously the absolute nuke that was the Oliver scene with Shannon and George. I really like that one a lot. Very well. Let's see. Ferret Land. Do we now? I look like this on Saturdays. Yeah. These omakis could kill a small Victorian Delta food child and I'm not even sending them all. Oh, baby, oh my goodness. But who is this? Wait, actually, I thought it was Beatrice, but that's not her outfit. I thought it was Erika, but she doesn't look like that. Who in the heck is this? Oh! Wait, why did you crop it like this? Why couldn't you just send both? They're right next to each other. That's cute. They switched outfits. Oh my gosh, Erika! Erika! Oh, she's so cute. Oh, her hair tied up is so cute. Beeto with the twin tails is very cute as well. But oh, the dress doesn't fit her. I see. Oh, brother.
I would drag it all down in the sight of my master!
Okay. It was just a silly prank, master. I did not ask for a stupid, dirty joke, Erika. Get lost, in fact, die. Sounds like a burnt spawn, alright. Cute. Oh, yes. Cute. OMG. I am Federin Augustus Aurora, and the circle around my head is a memory aid. She never said this. Who is that? Not like someone else's horns? What is that a reference to? What? Okay. What was I doing? He's up already, you dear. Machine. Okay, that's really cute. Strange. I seem to have a short gap in my memory. Sure you were napping. Why are you laughing, human child? That's so cute. 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 Oh my gosh, her face. Her face is so stupid. I'm a big fan. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. No! No, it has occurred. It's terrible.
エリカも魔法が使えるの？魔法でしょこれが。ってことはつまり。
Thank you. Whoa! Wow! That's good. That's so cool. Oh, Marianne, she can aura form too. Wow, her face. Oh. Ew, man. I love this part so much. Ladar! Cute. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Whoa! She didn't say all that. Okay, man. It is that serious. Oh, Maria. Sakutaro the goat. Oh, that's so. It's so good. 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 I like when they're small. Cute. What the hell? Oh, that's her laughing while she's walking away. Wow, man. This artist. Oh, so good. Jeez, man. Wow. Yes, dude. Stupid. Insane, dude. I'm scared. Oh no, this is cute. Clearly, you don't know an air fryer. She looks like that one stupid cat image, the one that's smirking. I hate it. Cute. Have you no love? Hee hee. Oh, she's so cool. She got the evil manga shadow on here. Erika's half covered in shadow and half in light, showing that he has a dark side and a love inside. The symbology of Sopranos. I love the facial expressions in this manga so much. Wow, man, that's good. So cool. Ah! I love it, 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 I love. Wow. Oh. These are my favorites. I love how they're drawn so much. Gosh. Oh, she's so scared. So worried. Oh, she's so stupid, man. She's so stupid. Makes me angry. I like this a lot. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I need this high quality framed without the text. This is such a cool portrait. Wow. So cool. Be nice. Oh, look at her! Dude, that's not cool. It's not cool at all. Oh. I love them. Okay. Oh. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What? I'm scared. Okay. That is an insane panel for sure. It is still very lovely. It's like the butcher's looking from afar. Oh no, canon panels. Why is she so small? Oh. Oh my gosh, there's so many. No. It's not fair, it's not fair. No. Oh, faggots. I can't. I won't make it. I will not make it. Oh, shucks. Wow! This is so cool. You look so neat. You look so bit stupid here. It is so It's not fair. Her fang! Her fang! Oh, the pants! This is so cute, this is so cute, this is so cute, this is so cute! Wow, Butler, holy. Yeah, I don't blame the woman behind the slaughter at all. Not one bit. I love this. I love when he's drawn with his eye covered. It's so good. Like this one, insane. Hey. Okay, I'm done. Thank you. No! Flabbergasted. Ow! This was so pretty. She's holding her skirts. She really has a rocking chair. She says, "Aw, shucks, like you, man." I don't think that's true, but sure, I'll say it more now. I do say things like that, but I don't think shucks is in my vocabulary. But yes, you're right. No, only two. Crap. Stop. No, you cannot do that to me. No. I'm not looking at the screen. I'm not looking at the screen. You cannot do that to me. You cannot do that to me. That's not cool. Okay, I'm looking. Oh my. She's never gonna be able to experience that. No. Pulling out my nerves would have been better. 7 saw nuclear bombs. That's fair. That is very fair. Oh my gosh. It's such a pretty dress. Whatever. Moving on. I don't care. How is there so much? I love when they do this. They put them next to each other. It's very neat. Wow! That's beyond lovely. Oh, please! Please let me breathe. Oh my gosh. Ow! You can't! Stupid face. You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. It's such a pretty panel. Also, that's funny. They can't use golden because it's in black and white, so they just use a different font for it. That's cute. Oh, thank goodness that was it. Me on the left and the horse on the right. Plus, part of the fun of watching the stream is watching you tackle your fan fiction. If I tell you my music will kill me in real life, so that is not perfect. Because okay. Tell me your opinion. Okay, whatever. It's okay. I figure she's already got her own fully formed hypothesis. Sean's so cute. She just wants to sit smugly and watch me struggle. You're so stubborn. Is that the witch of theater for you? Laugh at me for my poor taste if you wish, amigo. Whatever. Okay. Let this be over already, please. What is this? You use magic to create a channel in Tomato Land. It was a splendid bit of magic. Please, no more. I can't take anymore. I can't take anymore. I see the gift, dude. It's cropped. Okay. Oh! Look at her. Stupid. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Are we good? Are we good? Okay, we're good. Jeez, man. That's not cool. Why that's so funny to me? It's like the same as asking, is my mic on? Gosh darn it. Okay. That's actually not the one. It's just another similar one. Why is there multiple? Okay, whatever, we're done here. The cheese and crackers. Chuckaroonies. We're done here. Ah, jeez. Okay. Cool. Whatever. This game is fine at most. We're done. I'm out. GG's. Have a good Saturday, everyone. Bastion job looks pretty cool. Alright, I'm out. Bye. GG's. Bye.